Invoker's pretty good against TB. Lion is good against TB because the Lion stops the TB from farming the lanes very efficiently because he has the mana burn for the illusions. He can just keep stopping you. And I mean, on TNC, you are playing with a Brood Mother and a Hoodwing and a Phoenix. Like, sure, the Phoenix works well with the TB, but the other two heroes, I don't feel like there's any real synergy. Like, you're just gonna farm until you have like Skadi to be able to fight. Before that, I don't think you can fight with this TB, and that is kind of worrying because Boom can just accelerate this game as long as the Brood lane, the X lane goes well and the Brood is poor. Like I can see Boom just like steamrolling this game, and this TB might just die to smokes again and again with the finger and the sunstrikes or whatever.
Right, so if they can execute their lineup quite well, the Terrablade's just never going to have a chance. On TNC's side, what are we hoping to see round out their draft, Ponlo?
They definitely need something that's able to at least win the mid lane a bit against the Invoker. I think when your opponent shows an Invoker mid, you want to have something that at least does well against the Invoker, but also something that provides them some sort of team fight and damage. Because right now, Brood is gonna play on an island himself. You really need that mid hero to tie up this draft with the Hoodwing and the Phoenix, so that this Hoodwing and this Phoenix don't feel like useless heroes. You know, while the Brood Mother is farming, the Terrorblade is farming. You want that mid hero to be able to bring some tempo to the game.
Yeah, we don't want to see our supports just getting dunked on over and over again. That would not be good. And GoDz, for the Boom side, what do you want to see round out their draft?
What are the big carries left? I guess the Medusa's still in the pool against the TB. Yeah, I'm curious to see what they want to go for.
I doubt that they're gonna play a carry, right? I think they'll just put the X as a carry at this point, since it's a Brood lane. And they will just pick like a off lane, and maybe they play the Invoker as a Quas Exort and farm a lot on the hero.
True.
Are we looking for like a melee or ranged here?
Probably melee. Maybe something like Beastmaster, I don't know.
Okay. Alright, I was like maybe the Juggernaut or something like that. I'm just throwing things out there.
I mean, I might be wrong. Maybe Boom will just pick a new carry, but so far, I think it might be better for them to pick something like a Beastmaster offlane to like really speed up the tempo of the game. And they have this vision, they have Moonlight Shadow, they have Hawk, they have Sunstrike, they have X Dagger, Manta. They have so much kill potential on the entire map. Like, to me, that's the hero that I'm looking at. And FBZ plays the hero as well. So yeah, but anything that sort of speeds up the tempo of their game is gonna be good, I think. Personally, I don't really feel like they need a carry right now.
We'll see TNC slowly tick down that clock as they're thinking about what they want to pick on their side. Is a melee ranged? You don't think it's going to have too much impact here? It's all about just trying to give that space to the Terror and the Brood still.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think they also, I mean, I know, Ponlo, you mentioned they need something to fight with the Phoenix and Hoodwink and do damage. They also just need stuns. Like, they have no real lockdown or control. Just the Hoodwink with the Bushwhack is all they've really got to play around. TP's not going to deal damage if heroes aren't standing still. Phoenix Egg, you need protected, so they get a Void Spirit. Interesting.
I like it. I personally like the Void Spirit. I think he's a pretty awesome hero. Do you think this is gonna enable the Terror Blade and the Brood, Ponlo? Do you think it's gonna do what it needs to be able to execute this draft?
I think it was just the only thing left that they could have picked.
Okay.
But I don't think that this puts them ahead of the draft. I think they're quite behind, honestly, to me. I might be wrong. TNC might play a different style of Dota that I don't understand. And so yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see.
Could it be that, you know, Void's a comfort, and because there just wasn't a lot left, they've gone for something that's a really big comfort pick, GoDz?
Yeah, I think for sure. Often you're in a game one, sometimes you just want to go into kind of your comfort zone. You don't want to necessarily go too out of the box. They've already got the Brood cheese pick, so I think really TNC's just looking at this game like, okay, we're going to Brood cheese pick. Let's hope that's enough for us, and then just pick everyone else on something that's kind of standard for them.
And I mean, that's a really good way, you know, you kind of have this win condition that you want, and to be able to ensure that you can get that win condition, you just have to make sure everyone else is comfortable in how they're going to be playing their game of Dota. Over on the side of Boom, we see the Pangolier finish off their draft. So Ponlo, do you like that one? Is that something that you think is really going to work for them?
Yeah, I think it's excellent. I think it scales perfectly against the TB as long as you can match the item timing and the TB doesn't have this overwhelming damage to kill you while you're in your role. Like, this Pango is gonna do so much damage at the later part of the game. And it's also sort of an answer against the Brood as well. I think Boom has a really solid release. Really solid. Really solid draft.
5 seconds.
What sort of game plan or game style is Boom going for then? Do you still want them to be really early aggression and try not to push it too late?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure what Mikoto will go for, but I think that he should go for Exort, and I think they will just do well in their bottom lane. Mainly their bottom lane against the Brute, because you counter pick the X into a Brute, right? The X is gonna free farm. I hope they get some like large cam and medium cam stacks so that this X can really accelerate, and maybe Hyde on the Mirana top lane. Hyde can stack the camps as well because the Phoenix can't really pressure the Pangolier that much. Maybe you just need to buy a bit of regen for the Pango as a Mirana and stack the ancient camps. Stack it so much that Dreamcell will carry this game at 25 minutes.
Well, look, as much as I like Brood and Void and even Hoodwink, somehow you sold me, and I'm going to say that I really like the look of Boom Esports draft, and I'm going to say that they'll be taking game 1. But what do you reckon, GoDz, who's going to be taking game 1?
I like what you guys. You know, I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm going with TNC. They're the team. I'm gonna stick with my companion prediction. That's my logic. You know.
Oh wait,
I have to
did you do
double down?
Did you do TNC as well for your compendium?
Yes.
I did
TNC
too,
as
and
well.
everyone made fun of me. I'm not joking. Everyone was
Whoa.
like, "You gotta pick TNC," and I'm like, "Yeah," as if you wouldn't. And everyone's like, "No way, they don't have a chance." But look, I'll let you guys go and jump into game number 1, and hopefully TNC can prove all those haters wrong.
Alrighty, we'll see if TNC have the tools to do it here. Definitely looking like maybe a slight draft advantage going Boom's way, as we'll see early moves coming out. Yeah, I mean, TNC, they're still in the upper bracket. Definitely draft-wise, they're doing something a bit out of the box here. Obviously, Brood, not at all out of the box. No individual here out of the box, but the way things came together, it does feel like Boom have managed to get some good counter picks in Ponlo. How does TNC make this draft work? I mean, we're talking about, like, you know, doom and gloom. What makes TNC, what's going to set TNC up to win this game?
I think the biggest thing for TNC is if Armel manages to get a power rune. I feel like I say this every game. If Armel gets a power rune and he manages to kill this X at the bottom lane with the Brute, like one kill, right? One kill on the X and the tower is gone. Brute Mother will kill the tower. Like, as long as the X is not there. So I think that's gonna be what TNC is gonna be angling for, because top lane is gonna be pretty hard for the Void Spirit to rotate into because the support is a Phoenix. You don't really have any disables.
Alrighty. We'll see when those supports, that rotating power runes come into play, as we have both teams going for some early 5-man moves. There was a smoke out from Boom. They got scouted by a dire ward, and it does look like lanes are going to be going as you would expect. No crazy switch-ups happening here whatsoever, at least so far. I mean, you mentioned the X against the Brood a bit with the laning stage. Is there any way a Brood with a Hoodwink support can win this lane, or is Axe just too much of a counter pick?
I think in the lane itself, X is too much of a counter pick, but the Brute Mother might be able to cut the waves after 5 minutes when the creeps are, you know, the cutting is disabled, because right now the Dora patch is such that you can't cut the creeps properly until after 5 minutes. So yeah, I think after 5 minutes, when the Brute, maybe after the Brute has level 6, then that's where he can really come back in farm if he farms the jungle, as well as the lane creeps.
Terrorblade gonna tank an arrow there to try it. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he kept the rage creep alive a little bit longer. As we'll take a look at this bottom lane where it is the Brood lane. Not necessarily a whole lot of kill threat from the Lion Axe, at least I wouldn't expect. Maybe with the Battle Hunger Impale they can do some good damage, but it could be a lane where at least Brood doesn't get fully out of lane too fast.
Yep, Brood Wing is still considered one of the better supports in general in lane. And Brood really needs that solid lane support, because the Brood Mother really suffers in the first few levels before she gets like her more points in her E, where she starts to be able to go on the enemy.
We'll see how things develop there in these lanes. As far as taking a look at some of our other lanes, we've got the Armel Void Spirit in the mid lane up against the Mikoto Invoker. Do you think, how high do you rate Mikoto's Invoker? Is it something you think he's really proficient on?
Not really, personally, but to be honest, I don't think I'm a Mikoto expert. I'm not a Mikoto expert. I'm only a dev expert. Which is why I sort of like say that maybe I prefer Mikoto to play Exort. So it's more towards his playstyle of farming and just Sunstrike for kills. But he's actually opted to go for Crosswax.
Yeah, I feel like the heroes I always think of with him as like his Wind Ranger in the past, his Monkey King mid, his TA.
His Ember, yep.
Yep. We'll see how he handles the Invoker. It's going to, like you say, be Crosswax, probably see that early earn, just that space creating. Let's, you know, just run around, I mean, you kind of say make space for an Axe. Axe is not your traditional hard carry, but we have seen this Axe do a lot when you do get that ability to snowball and pull ahead.
Yep. It's gonna be interesting to me if whether Boom makes stacks or not for this Axe, because like the thing I really pulled away from watching LGD run the Axe on Ame was that they knew how to accelerate him, and they didn't just treat him like a standard carry that just hits creeps in his lane, you know?
Yeah. And you mentioned Hyde, that's the Mirana's job to make those stacks mostly?
Yep, and the Lion as well. Like the Lion can also, once he has mana, he has the mana drain, he can stack in the Radiant main jungle, the camp on the left of the outpost, and the camp above the outpost. I believe he can double stack that with as long as he uses mana drain. So yeah.
We'll see how that works out for him. Bottom river, Mikoto denies the water room, but gets caught by a Ether Remnant, so he's going to be forced back. Will be okay, he's not going down, and does have the points in quad, so has a decent amount of HP regen. They should be okay here. Feels like this bottom lane's about to get very difficult as soon as Dream Missile gets the Vanguard up, which he's only 400 gold away from. They're just going to be tickling him at that point.
Yep. That's cute. Making stacks. His Axe is already untouchable in the bottom lane. Like the Hook Wing's purpose in the bottom lane is not to shut down the Axe or do anything to the Axe. Hook Wing's purpose is... Oh.
Ooh, arrow goes flying through with the tornado. Unfortunately, very hard combo with the tornado and the arrow. And they just couldn't quite land it properly, as Mikoto doesn't have much mana to play around with as well.
Yep, I think TNC is just testing out whether they are able to first face this Brood. Because if TNC win this game, it's gonna have such a psychological advantage against all the teams that they're gonna face. Because you have to first face ban a Brood. Because this team, they dare to first face a Brood Mother.
And they ban, obviously there's many heroes you can pick into the Brood. The Axe is obviously one of the common ones, but there were 3 others that they banned out. So basically this is them saying they feel like they can obviously Brood into those counters.
Yep. I think their philosophy of the Brood, from what I see right now, is that, or the only way I can explain it is that you pick the Brood, but you don't make the game about the Brood. You make the game about the other heroes. And I believe in that, but I guess my issue with this game is that I don't really see the other heroes making too much sense together. Like, the Phoenix sort of feels like the Phoenix fits with the TB, and the Hook Wing fits with the Void Spirit, but as a 4-man unit, they don't really fit in together. Like, just a little bit weird to me.
Box being exposed. He didn't buy the TNC supporter pack. Gabby also rocking the I think that's the SMG one. Not sure.
Yeah, he wants the steady pompipi.
Have you got a favorite voice line, or what's your go-to?
My favorite one is the Motivate Trust one, where Fearless goes, "You think you good ah?" I love that one.
That's good. That's real good. Yeah.
You think you good ah?
I'm glad we got some Arteezy sprays, even here in Southeast Asia. I mean, all over the world, obviously, Arteezy a household name. As we'll see, Axe well and truly a problem, as he has the money for the Vanguard if he wants to go and buy it. So, and now, yeah, you kind of mentioned it. KezQ can go back to the jungle, make some stacks if he wants, or help out the mid lane. His game is completely open and free now. As we'll see Gabby perhaps in some trouble up top. They've got the arrow and they're going to land it with a nice placement. FBZ
Beautiful
backing
arrow.
him up too. Yeah. Definitely the man to watch right now. Hasn't been doing any stacking, but he's having a big impact elsewhere on the game.
Yep, the lane was not going that well for them. As you can see, in the CS, the TV is doing really well compared to the Pangolier. But yeah, that kill just like evens the lane out. It was really good.
All right. TNC, you said the one thing they need is power runes, and they've got the first one. Arcane rune for Armel. See how soon you can look to start making some plays.
He gotta wait for his boots before he starts to rotate to the other lanes. So maybe he will just use his rune to kill the mid lane.
They can rotate heroes towards him. I mean, Hoodwink not bad. You've got Bushwhack, but I guess Phoenix could rotate in with a dive for some slow and with Fire Spirits. But yeah, they don't really have the best heroes to make those rotations. It's just the supports, because both Brood is going to be playing it by himself, and then TB is just going to be looking to farm.
Yep, they definitely need the Invoker to try to go on the Void Spirit before they are able to kill the Invoker. If the Invoker is just sitting back and farming, I don't think they're gonna be able to just go on him from full HP.
Oh, and I think Boom recognized that this mid lane is the one lane that's vulnerable, because both their supports are just sitting in the trees, playing around this lane, and they're spotted by Observer Wards, but they're just here to make sure that Invoker doesn't get gone on. Or if he does, they can turn it around. Tornado EMP mid, that's perhaps what they were waiting for.
Whoa!
They get the Impale follow-up.
Got it!
The arrow... Oh, there we go. They get the kill.
Wow. Boom has been executing so well the past 2 days. Like, these things are not easy to hit.
Perfectly played. But yeah, the last few
believe,
times they went for that.
The Invoker even like last hit the range crit, right, so that the arrow will hit, I'm not sure. But yeah, that was clean. And the stacks as well, like, look at the Mirana, like, he's making the stacks. The Lion as well is making the stacks. Oh man, this axe is gonna be big.
Yeah, and I'm sure they want to fall back and grab some of those neutron soon, but the axe, you mentioned, he's going to be big. He may be first getting picked off here.
Vanguard.
That's a rotation from Malmel. But yeah, he's A-okay. Kodo TP's down here and actually earns him up to keep him nice and healthy, so... Axe may just want to head back to the jungle. There's so much farm and stacks waiting for him.
Armel did what he could. I called it, like, he needs to have the Arcane Rune and he needs to wait for his boots. He got his boots, he TV'd bot, but unfortunately they just lacked a little bit of damage.
Mid lane, there's going to be another Tornado EMP coming in on Armel. Once again, he'll dodge it using the Dissimulate. That's what we saw the first few times before the arrow came into play.
Stacks. Stack, nice.
7, yep, I'm sure every time it approaches that around 50-second mark he's asking.
Oh,
As
this
you
Lion
say.
illusion. Stopping the stack.
They're going to get one stack off, but still, yeah, it's a problem on the more so on the other side with how many stacks are out. Top lane, they are diving, looking for this Tim's kill. The arrow will give vision even if it doesn't land, so Boom get themselves another kill. They're just crushing this early game. Everything I think we're worried about with the drafts is kind of happening. This Brood is being completely negated, hasn't really been able to have a good time down bottom. Maybe he's going to start pressuring the tower and avoid... I guess the one thing with Axe is if he goes back to the jungle, he's going to be giving up this lane and tower.
Yep, definitely. And I don't think anyone on Boom really want to come down here. Maybe the Pangolier can come down here, but I think they understand that this bottom lane is TNC's only move. Like, if you bring a Pango bot, TNC is going to bring 4 heroes to come and kill this Pangolier. So maybe what Boom wants to do here is actually to bait the Axe bottom. The Axe just stays bot because they know that bottom lane is the only lane TNC can move to with the Void Spirit and the Hoodwink.
And those stacks will still be there 2 or 3 minutes from now. He doesn't have to farm them now.
Yep, there's no threat of it getting stolen as well.
Rolling Thunder top, FBZ tries to escape, but Armel was there with the pull. Another power rune. He had the haste rune, so Armel making the plays.
Yeah, Boom
It's
gotta
the
be a
first
little
kill.
bit more disciplined with the power runes. These power runes are giving TNC a lifeline in this game.
Alright, we'll see. Axe actually looking to invade the enemy jungle for a second. He goes in to peek at how many Ancients and stuff are there, but decides he'd better not, as it looks like he is headed to his own Ancients now, looking to start that power farming. And it seems like the call is just, let's just give up bottom tier 1 tower. We don't really, like, the game plan doesn't change necessarily.
I think communication got a bit of breakdown. The Brood Mother is taking the stacks at the Lion mid. Because the Axe didn't clear the stacks bottom. I think the Axe should have cleared these stacks before he left.
There's even another triple stack further up that the Brood might go find later on.
Yep, maybe the Pangolier is gonna try to clear it soon.
Axe had bigger ideas, you know. He's like, I'm only Ancients, he says. Only care Ancients.
No, but this is exactly what happened in their previous game as well, where Dreamercell played Axe, right? He only farmed the Ancients, and I talked about it when after they lost.
Yeah.
I felt that he actually had to farm a lot more than just the Ancient stack. He had to farm a lot of other stacks as well. But it looks like this game is gonna happen again, where he just only farms Ancient stacks. But his net worth at least is looking pretty solid, much better than the last time.
Brood finds some of those stacks. He's trying to kill this line in the mid lane. Forces out an Impale, but with the Void Spirit backup, Bok doing a great job collapsing on this mid lane. Has the web charges to make these rotations, and did scout out that stack in the neutral as well, so good moves from the Brood. Well, Axe is actually playing in the top lane now. Are you feeling like, you know, the way Boom are playing or setting up this Axe, is it going the right direction now? Or, I mean, he's the top net worth, obviously, but is this where you want your Axe to be at 12 minutes in?
I think it's not ideal because he didn't take the other stacks, and the Brood actually, look at the Brood's net worth, right? The Brood was doing pretty poorly at the start, but now he's like all back. He's richer than Invoker and the Pangolier.
Well, it was a Rolling Thunder bottom. It bounced around some walls, didn't really amount to a whole lot, as it seemed like Boom were attempting to push TNC out of this bottom lane, but they're unsuccessful in doing so. And once again, Armel has another rune. He's got a double damage this time. He's slowly starting to help TNC claw their way back in. They were down 2,000 gold at like 6 or 7 minutes into this game. It felt like the lanes had gone really poorly, but suddenly TNC over the last 5 minutes have pulled themselves back into this game.
Yeah, it really felt like while this Axe was clearing the Ancients and going top lane to farm, the rest of the Boom heroes just didn't really achieve anything. They didn't even really farm anything. I'm not sure. The FBZ is quite poor on the Pangolier. Even though he's sat at bottom lane for a while. He's in mid lane now. But yeah, Boom is trying to open up this top tower because it's gonna open up a lot of the space to farm for the Axe after he has the Manta.
That Manta, yeah, online fairly soon. Can he see his team take this top tier 1 tower? Makoto, fairly quiet game for the Invoker, other than that 1 kill mid on the Void Spirit, where his supports rotated. We feel like hasn't really seen him able to make plays around the map. Is that just because he's been farming, or is he just not finding any good openings?
I honestly think maybe a part of it is just this being TI qualifiers, you know. Like usually we see all these Invokers, they get so much shit done, you know. When they play fast wax, they get so many kills all over the place because people play so carelessly. But it really does feel like in these TI qualifiers, all these cross wax Invokers haven't been finding the same kind of success they used to have. I think
I feel like
being tighter.
Yeah, this is I think the 4th best of 3 I've cast, and they've all been the upper bracket teams. Teams like Fnatic, TNC, Boom, and all these games at like 15 minutes in, they have like 5 kills. It's a very common theme.
Yep.
As mid lane, Dreamercell TP in, but the tower's already gone down. Phoenix are gonna just dive out of there. As the Rolling Thunder being at least pump fake, he is gonna go for this one. There's gonna be a dissimulate, gets him to the low ground. Armel also has a void step. Uses the Astral Step to get back to safety, so I mean, even that's like back-to-back Rolling Thunders just being used to I mean, he's not planning on using it to zone them away. He's trying to go for kills, but TNC just completely disengaged.
Yeah, Boom have the stronger abilities right now, but they're not really getting the fights that they want.
Tim's in the top lane. They go fishing with a Sunstrike after the Tornado EMP combo, but it's not gonna work. It's no kills going the way for either team, and they are trying. They are making these moves.
Yeah, I really like that they gave Armel the bottom lane to farm, because as a Void Spirit, you can really start to lag behind in terms of farm if the Brood Mother is the one taking all the space, you know? Like the Brood Mother, if Brood Mother takes all the farm bot, Void Spirit, you feel really bad if you have to hit jungle at this point of the game. So yeah, it's really nice for Armel.
And Brood is a hero that can, as we've seen, jungle just fine. I was farming jungle stacks and everything, so.
Yep.
We'll see top lane. FBZ could be in some trouble. Armel rotated up here, and then they have the Bushwhack Sharpshooter instantly killed. Kezcute could be next. This is an Arcane Rune Void Spirit. He does lose it with the Tornado Dispel. Jumps forward out of the EMP. They could just be going for more here. They've got the Sunray on Kezcute's Lion. He's going down, and Makoto says, get me out of here. He just TP's back to base as TNC clear out this top side of the map. They get rid of Boom, get 2 kills.
Yeah, and throughout that whole ordeal, the other TNC heroes, the Broodmother and the TB, they are not even interested to come. They just farm. This is what I mean during the draft. Like, TNC's draft identity is that they want to play 3 lanes all the time. And they just want to split you up. Like, Boom has all this teamfight and like spells, but they have to use it together to kill people. And if you're split out all the time, it's really hard to land those spells together.
Feels like Axe is the only one whose game is going according to plan, which is get lots of farm. It feels like the Invoker has no plays to make. Pengo's being forced to deal with the Brood lane because the Axe wants to farm the jungle. So Pengo's just not being able to make any plays either.
Yep, I feel like this goes back to do these teams really know how to run this Axe? Because every time this Axe is picked, it does feel a bit weird, you know? It doesn't look like what LGD did at all.
Yeah. The hero has been an absolute disaster in TI10 qualifiers. 28% win rate in 46 games. It is a shocker.
Yep.
And things continue to not look good for I mean, it's top net worth, but Boom need to start winning some fights, making something work here. They're down 2k gold, they're smoked up, trying to find an opening here. Boomy, the perfect hero perhaps in the front lines, but it's going to be a blink call into an arrow just to support. If TNC can cut their losses, they may be okay with this. Good fast fingers from Dreamercell to get the blink call before Phoenix could dive away.
Yep, now that the Axe has a dagger, at least they're going to have a lot more threat on the map. And maybe TNC can't farm that freely on the map anymore.
By the way, one play we haven't talked about, Gabby, TB, just free farming away. I mean, sure, Axe has been free farming, but surely, I mean, you know, TB, traditional carry. This hero should out-carry an Axe, right?
Yep, for sure. Like this, even though the Helix is pure damage and in theory it's good against TB's high armor, but it gets to a point where if you don't win the fight on the jump as the Axe, this TB that has a Skadi is just gonna not let you exit the fight, and you will just die to this Skadi slow plus Daedalus damage. And
even,
you know,
I imagine a Satanic at some point too.
Yeah.
Mid lane, Yules into the step. They get the Bushwhack Sharpshooter. That kill threat potential, that combo is just destroying them. And with a Yule Scepter, they can just set up this hoodwink for these kills whenever they want.
Yeah, Boom really needs to. I think Boom really needs to like start to think about how they're gonna approach these fights, because their lineup is the one that's supposed to be strong right now. Like, if they keep delaying this game, like, I'm not sure what are they waiting for, like the Kata maybe on the Invoker, but it's gonna be countered by 1 4-star. So as long as TNC buys a 4-star on their team, on their support, the core shouldn't die to the Cataclysm anymore.
Yeah, it's been a game where TNC have been the ones in complete utter control here in the mid game. Not even necessarily going around for there hasn't been a team fight yet. I don't think we've seen a single Supernova. It's just pickoffs using Void Spirit Hoodwink. You can see why Hoodwink is one of the most picked heroes. That's a hero that, okay, 50% win rate. Not amazing, but not bad. It's just solid. It's always good. It's reliable, and it's being first picked in most of these other regions. So bring a lot, and they're going to find another catch. Yule's Scepter into the pool. Makoto's Invoker could be in some trouble. The damage follow-up is there, and with the Supernova, Mirana's blinking in, leaping in with the Axe. They're going to bring down the Supernova egg, and Makoto actually survived. He's going to turn, throw a Tornado. Great turnaround coming in as Armel gets low in the Void Spirit. Can he get out of this one? He's slowed down by the Battle Hunger. The chase is on, and they get the dunk. Dreamercell able to show up just in time to help Makoto out, keep him alive, and that's the kind of fight that Boom were looking for. It wasn't one they started, but it turned out well.
Yeah, but at the same time, Gabby, TB, he took the bottom lane tower and the outpost. So now the map is going to be really tough for Boom to play. This bottom side of the map is going to be rather unplayable for them.
It feels like, yeah, the outcome was good, but it wasn't something orchestrated by Boom. If anything, it was just TNC going for a kill that they thought they had enough damage for, but turns out they didn't. Invoker, obviously, can be very hard to kill when he's got the defensive tools, the Tornadoes, the EMPs, the Cold Snaps, so...
Yep. And it's also like the other players on TNC being useful, right? When your teammates are going for a play, you don't just hide in your own jungle and farm. You know, you do something useful. You go hit a tower, you take the outpost, you control the map for your team, push in the waves, pressure the enemy.
Well, the how things will go from here. 6 kills to 5, very even in terms of gold. TB continuing to free farm, has hit his early to mid-game kind of core items. The Skadi, the big one you kind of mentioned, once he gets that, he's going to be so tanky and there's no real running away from him. Heroes like Axe, even the Pengo. You want a Rolling Thunder, and if this TB gets BKB off and meta, he's just going to right-click and kill your Rolling Thunder.
Yep, I mentioned that the Pangolier was a good pick against the TB, but with this net worth, this Pangolier is just gonna die.
The smoke on in. They're going to invade these Ancients. It's just Axe illusions, though. Armel accidentally jumps them, perhaps not realizing that they were fake. Boom themselves have backed off, recognizing that TNC are up to something, so maybe considering a play of their own. Well, does look like we are heading for another late game scenario. We're 20 minutes in and neither... Ooh, okay. Late game without a brood for a moment. Nice initiation with the Sunstrike follow-up, and that's something I feel like, okay, they've had this blink for a bit, they immediately got a support kill. I feel like they've got so much kill potential with a blink call and the Sunstrike.
Yeah, they do. And I've seen this from quite a few teams. I'm not sure why the trend is to play such a slow game when you have, even when you have fast heroes. Like, I think they should just like 3-man smoke and like use the moonlight and get pickoffs and close the map, cut the waves, put the deep vision, you know. But how these teams have been playing is like, it really does feel like the $40 million pressure, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake, but I feel like there's also so many examples of teams who go against this style where you see fan success. I mean, obviously, last 2 TIs, one by OG, and that was very much like a, we don't care if we're down 10, 15k gold, let's get run of them, let's fight, we're not going to play safe and sit back. It was much more aggressive style. Even TNC, I feel like, when they had success at TI, it was usually a much more aggressive style, but perhaps with some of the newer, less experienced players, they are reverting to this more passive style of gameplay.
Yep, even at the Animajor, the WePlay Animajor, TNC also played really slowly, and they kept picking like some Viper post tree. That you would think that a Viper post tree will win its lane and snowball the game. But what they did with the Viper was, they lost the lane, and then they just farmed, and they just held the game for 45 minutes, and then balk at 50 minutes with the Viper as a push tree. It just scaled like a carry.
This could be the big team fight. Smoke up, Moonlight Shadow in, Boom want to go on this one, but do TNC know? They're still lingering around. Dream Missile needs the vision. Armel goes for a smoke of his own. They go for the blink hole in, but they're not going to find it. The X-Crate, the Cataclysm follow-up is there. The Snowball coming on down as well. The Brute gets caught up in a tornado going through everyone. The Supernova coming out. Can they kill it? Hive wants to commit. Mirana wants this egg. He's going to get it right before he dies. Perhaps saving this fight, and with the TP dead, this is looking terrible for TNC. 2 kills apiece as Armel looking to maybe salvage things. They get the Dust of Mikoto, so TNC actually making this one turn out okay. They're going to lose one more, though. The Void Spirit being taken out by Dream Missile's Axe, and it's a 3-for-3 bloodbath in the top lane. That's the team fight we've been waiting for.
I'm pretty sure Gabby just pulled off an insane play. He had a bottle illusion rune, and he bottle illusion the call, and he wasn't caught by the call.
Oh, that's that's the thing. I saw a blink call, but then I was like, I don't think anybody got caught by it.
Yeah, I think so. But I think he didn't press his BKB or something, and he was still stunned, like through a Hex or the Rolling Thunder or something. But yeah, like even with such an insane play, the fights are still difficult for TNC. Like the amount of burst and the amount of control that Boom has is frightening.
And you can see, very easily could have gone more TNC's way if that egg did manage to pop. I think Mirana, it was like, her last dying breath was like, I'm gonna get this egg.
Yeah, that's Hyde's only purpose this game. He went for the max leap. He bought power threats, he's buying a BKB on the Mirana. He just wants to kill the egg.
Yeah, BKB Mirana as a support, that is something I feel like I've never seen. And I feel like he's gonna go for that leap attack speed if this is the build.
Yep, for sure.
Got one goal.
Yeah, this was a build I think pioneered about a year ago. I'm not sure if was it from other regions. The first support that I've seen that did it was either Hyde or Zephyr that did this. They just buy power threats into BKB. Sometimes they don't max the leap because you kind of get a leap. You max the leap too early and your arrow is kind of weak. You're still kind of far from the talent, so And maybe he feels like he doesn't really need the arrow because his team has so much damage, so much burst, that he can just play for the egg.
Well, we'll see what TNC's approach is going to be. I was about to say, it feels like one of the problems for TNC is not having any save against, you know, if Axe gets a blink call off to start a fight, how do you save that hero? And it looks like one of the answers, at least they're considering. Boomy has got an Axe queued up on Phoenix.
Yep, and Teams also has the 4-staff already on the wing against the Kata. But even if you 4-staff the Kata, he still can die if he's chain stunned by the Pangolier.
Yeah.
So the Aga on the Phoenix might be quite big. But that's why the Mirana BKB is gonna be so good, because you might be able to kill 2 heroes in the egg.
Into Roche. There's still Metamorph. TB died without using his Metamorphosis.
This is...
So, Roche is so low. And Spiderlings are going to scout it out. TNC may just be saying thank you, Boom, if they can win this fight or secure themselves Roche. The Spiderlings no longer in a web. Need to be a little bit careful with those. The Pango able to very easily clear them up. Arrows flying through for vision. And Boom had that high ground ward above the Roshan pit, which is going to help them out here. They get the Tornado on the Brood. Rolling Thunder on through. They want to take out the Brood first. Not sure it's a bit. Second rolling. He bounces. He catches out 3. FBZ. Has he got any follow-up? It looks like he's on an island, though. So Rolling Thunder is now on cooldown, and this is a Roche fight without Rolling Thunder. Suddenly TNC's thinking, maybe we can go into the pit.
Where are his
We
friends?
don't have to worry. Yep.
No one committed.
Arrow. Oh! Oh, no! The arrow! It caught him mid-dive. Blink Cole coming on in. Gab with the Manta. He's going down. He doesn't get saved. He couldn't get the Sunder off. Now the Bruce is forced to run for the high ground. And it's TNC who lose 3. Armor goes down to the Finger of Death. Boom. Somehow win the fight. That arrow. I don't know what Phoenix was diving on through the Roshan pit for, but what bad luck for him.
It might have been on Gabby for not pressing his BKB, I'm not sure. Because if you press BKB, your hook wing can't 4-staff you. But so the kata hit the TB and he didn't get the Sunder in time, even though he was BKB.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so close.
Oh.
Those are the fights
an
that,
important fight.
yeah, those are the fights that you look back on and you're like, Dota is really a game of like seconds, milliseconds even.
Oh, and that's the thing. There's probably like 2 or 3 things on either side that could have gone differently, or that players will be saying, oh, we should have done that or could have done that. Next time, let's do this, but Dota can be just so complex. As what's pick off? Dreamer Cell getting another kill. His axe is really starting to take off.
Yep, and
Feels
for
like
now
more
he is
and
pretty
more.
strong.
Yeah, more and more we're seeing this axe, like, you know, we think of this as this early mid-game carry, but it feels like these axes are scaling really well into this, like, 30 to 40 minute late game stage as well. Oh, catches out Tims with a blink hole in the trees. Dreamer Cell, oh!
Sunstrike the base.
Didn't have the mana for the Culling Blade, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I think for X is one of those heroes that if you are on even net worth with the enemy, you are kind of weak. But if you're ahead, like he is right now, he's so strong. He can kill any of the heroes with 1 call. And also because he has a Sunstrike.
Yep. Mindbreaker, nice item to have with the extra attack speed too, so. See where things go from here for Boom. They're the ones...
I was gonna say, like, this Aegis on this X just changes the game for Boom right now, because this X can just really jump into the fight. He's not worried at all. Like, even if he use the egg, even if Armel catches him out before he presses BKB or whatever, something like that, TB uses meta to start hitting him. He has the Aegis, like, he can just reset. TNC don't have that many stuns.
Is there a timing or something TNC is looking for at this point? Item-wise or level-wise, or just waiting for an Aegis to expire? What are they looking for to turn this game in their favor?
Oh, Gabby actually has a bottled DD rune, and he's 400 gold away from the Skadi. So I think once they get that Skadi, maybe they'll try to fight with this DD rune. I think that is smarter. Letting this DD rune expire is gonna be worse, I think. I think you have to sort of look for a good fight right now. Because Boom are gonna force the issue with this Aegis for sure.
To fight even into the Aegis, you think they should force a fight?
While this DD rune is up, I think it's wiser to fight. If you do not have this DD rune, I don't think you can win the fight.
Alright.
And they are doing just that.
Yeah, they smoke up with 4. Root nearby, very close to a completed Aghanim Scepter, but won't gotta get it before a fight breaks out, I don't believe. They're smoking down mid. They're not really headed towards where Boom is on the map. It doesn't look
courier.
like... Yeah, there's some there's some couriers to kill, but... Actually, no, they're going to run in. They find Kescute. Armel gets the solo kill initiation, and now the rest of the team smoked up may be able to find a way to jump in. Armel is just going in head first. Blink hold though. Armel could be in some trouble. He may have overcommitted. There's the force off. He dodges the Sunstrike. The force off saves his life. Dreamer Cell has to wait for another call now with the Sun Ray coming out from the Phoenix Soup Sun. Can they bring it down in time? Heidi dies! He doesn't get it! They DDTB! It saves the egg! TB, he didn't get the BKB off, but he's still doing okay. He's still got the double damage. He's just wrecking through them. He's trying to get FBZ, who's just rolling thunder to get the hell out of there. Gets the swashbuckle to the low ground.
The skin, the cosmetic, they can't see it. They don't know that he's DD. Look, he's so
Sunstrike,
blue.
fishing, not going to find it. And it looks like they are going to try and hunt down and chase down Makoto, who does go into the Ghost Walk to get the hell out of there. And yeah, like you said, they couldn't even tell he was double damaged, I think.
Yeah. Man.
That fight was just 2 supports dying, by the way. It felt like a whole lot more.
I just there's no more ages, so.
Yeah. And they came so close to killing. Pengo there just had so much damage mitigation. I thought DDTB with Metamorph hitting you in your Rolling Thunder, he would melt, but he managed to mostly tank his way through it.
Yep, the Pangolier is actually catching up a lot in terms of farm. He's actually richer than the Invoker already. And Invoker is a Midas. So it's pretty impressive by FBZ. He had a rough early game. He bought the travels. He understood that he needed to scale in this game. He took a lot of farm in the lanes. Yeah, now he's back. He's gonna do a lot in the late game against the TB.
That has all the items that impact this game. Even the Orb of Corrosion neutral item, fantastic on a Pengo. Getting close to 400 CS as well. Obviously a lot of those spiderlings, but still impressive. And yeah, TNC just not finding the farm on some of these heroes. I mean, I mentioned that a potential Ags Phoenix would give them some save, but Phoenix has no way to farm that right now. Just trying to finish a Holy Locket. Does feel like some of these TNC heroes are falling off. I mean, do you think there's a place for heroes like the Brood if this game keeps dragging out?
Not really. The only Brood build that I've seen.
It sure looks like it.
Like I was saying, the only Brood build that I've seen that manages to scale well in the late game is the EV Dagon build, where you really put your net worth into something very direct impact. Because on Brood you sort of farm a lot, but in the late game you struggle to do a lot. So, but I don't think it looks like he's not going for that build this game. He went for the Aghanim's and now he's playing the Aga Shard. Yeah. So he's taking a different approach. I'm not sure. I think he's like completely fallen off at this point.
Yeah, you can cover the map in webs, but it's only going to do so much.
Yeah, I actually don't really see the point of this Aga. I think it's he's doubling down instead of changing the direction of his hero.
Well, it feels like all the pressure then is going to be on Gabby. His Terrorblade in these team fights coming up, working towards a Daedalus. His damage output is going to really skyrocket with that, but play carefully without the buyback.
Yeah, but
Boom.
I imagine Boom is still gonna be, you know, they're gonna give TNC the respect they deserve. Like Gabby TB, you know, is one of the best TBs in C. It's not something to be scoffed at.
Yep. I imagine, you know, eyes towards Roshan always at this stage of the game. We'll be respawning sometime in the next 30 seconds to 3 minutes. I imagine we'll see Boom being the ones who have better control around that Roche area. And they've got multiple Aeon discs now with Pengo, as well as the Lion about to complete one as well. So they've got a lot of kind of defensive tools to prevent themselves getting bursted down. Particularly we've seen from the Voice Ray. He just jumps in and tries to delete these supports.
Yeah, Armel also has a Aeon disc on the Void Spirit, and he actually hasn't locked it yet. So he might be able to pull off a sick play with the Aeon disc in the fight against the Lion.
Yep. Gets like stunned or cold and then sees a Cataclysm coming down. He can,
yeah, he can just dodge the kata damage entirely.
All right, well, we'll see. It feels like TNC, they need to make some of those kind of clutch plays if they want to win a team fight. It does feel like they are being at least outgunned a bit in terms of their basically how strong their heroes are in the late game.
Yeah, definitely. It's starting to become more and more of a Gabby show. Like, we're just waiting on our TB and seeing whether our TB will be able to carry this game, which he definitely could. Like, they don't really have, they don't outscale the TB. I don't think. They match him pretty well because of the Angolier mainly, because you just can disarm all the illusions so well. But
Ango, what's he getting an Atos for?
oh, he's getting an 8.
Hold on. Armel going for the outpost, gets Blink called. Arrow to follow up, but there's the Aeon disassemble. That's going to bail him out. He gets hit by the Impale as he comes down, but Boom going to disengage. Yeah, I just saw that Iron Pick and was like, what? Oh, of course, Blipnir. Yeah, okay. I'm always like, why does he need an Atos? But yeah, I always forget about this item because no one buys it usually.
I mean, I've never seen it. I've never seen this item being picked up on a Pangolier like this before. But it looks very logical. It looks
good. Having, you know, both the damage output and the lightning as well as like an ensnare against heroes like Root could be potentially very useful.
Yep, against the Void Spirit as well.
Yep. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Even, yeah, the Void Spirit, the supports, these are kind of heroes that could be alone and just having that lockdown and catch can help for it. Here we go, Roche number 2 with Cheese and Aghanim Shard. Both teams tossing around the vision. Blink call on 3. Cataclysm follow up. They delete Void Spirit and Phoenix instantly dead. Aeon Disc was still on cooldown. And that is not what TNC want to see. That's going to be a free Roche.
Aeon Disc on the Void Spirit was on cooldown. Dreamer Cell knew. And he jumped there. Then those 2 heroes were gonna die. Really good vision surrounding the Roche pit there. Maybe a slightly misplay by TNC.
Yeah, the Radiant Ward, they've just kept their vision alive and Axe finding the opening to go in.
Lactose intolerant. Nobody wants to take the cheese.
Where did it end up?
Oh, SQ likes the cheese. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Oh. No cheese for him.
Don't worry, they're letting it age. It's like a fine wine.
True. Well, when he gets to the 4th Roshan, it's gonna compound into like smelly cheese.
Pinkier the cheese, more expensive it is generally, actually. But here we go. They're going high ground. Mikoto TP's in with the boost of travel, and they're just looking to break the base here. No cheese, no problem. As TNC are gonna have to think about how they want to approach this one. They've got Void Spirit back soon, so. Alright. Well, Boom backing off. At some point, usually at some point you realize, like, wait, who picked up the cheese? Nobody's got cheese? Okay, where, is it still in the pit?
Yep.
That's cute. It's also kind of hidden on the webs. Like, I even hovered over. Like, you don't see the cheese because of the webs when you hover over that easily, at least. You know, it's deceptive. Trying to cut him some slack.
Bot hiding the cheese. Very smart.
Exactly. Tactical. He knew they'd get Roche, and he's like, okay, these webs will mess him up. But, things are looking really tough. Pengo level 25. Has all the items in the world. It's just feels like they can deal with the TB because of how many farm cores they have. They're gonna look to perhaps take over this dire triangle. That's where they've been trying to farm on the TNC side. Dream Missile blinks in with the call. Catches the Gabby TB, the Cataclysm follow-up. It's not going to do enough damage to initially get the kill here. Void Spirit, meanwhile, on the side, forced to run away. TB's just running forward. Gabby can't find a target in his Metamorphosis. By BKB. Needs to be careful. Trying to get away, but the right click's coming up from the TB. They're going to chase him down with the Daedalus Kree. He still dies. Even with the leaps away, that's not going to disjoint those attacks, so... This could set up TNC for a better fight, but it's not like they have a Supernova anyways to punish the lack of Mirana.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like this TB, he's super strong, but he doesn't have enough disables on his team. He can't actually do effective damage.
Yep.
Like they kill Mirana, sure, but I'm sure they were hoping for a lot more than that with Meta Pop. Now that Meta is gonna be down soon, Boom is gonna be able to take any fight they want.
And they're gonna get a free uncontested tier 2 tower as they may be considering Looking for even more here. They don't have the Mirana. This is like basically like 4v5 kind of situation. Grimacel's going to grab the creep wave top so they don't have to worry about the split push as much. Just being efficient. And Invoker has got the refresher to go with the Aghanim Scepter, so a lot of damage output coming from Makoto here in the late game.
Oh, Gabby. Yeah. Call?
Okay,
No call?
BKB TP.
Oh.
No, yeah, axe up top.
I think that Boom needs to choke out the map a little bit better. Right now, the Axe needs to cut the top wave. And because they have Aegis on the Pangolier, he can freely sit in the mid lane. They can cut the bottom wave as well. Like, and the Lion can mana drain the TB illusions. Like, they're letting the map slip a bit too much, I think, on the Boom right now.
Oh, jump in. They've caught a hoodwink. Very quick and easy kill. You mentioned just choking on the map, they're just going to get as much vision up as around the Dire base. Try and keep TNC inside. Armel has made his way out towards the bottom lane, but it feels like he's going to be forced back to defend very soon.
Meta is still cooldown for another 30 seconds.
BZ gets the Alacrity on the Pengo of all heroes. Does have his Aeon disc proc. Perhaps unintentionally, so he's going to be a little bit careful. He gets pulled back in. Does have the Aegis to play around though, so he should still be okay. Aragorn's flying through, not going to catch anyone, and FBZ getting lower and lower with the Sunray damage. Not enough to kill him off, and with the roll-up, FBZ does keep himself alive, has a salve to help him regen back up as well, and they're just looking to chip away at this melee racks. Slow and steady.
20 seconds on Aegis, 15 seconds.
Okay. And I think Boom backing off, recognizing perhaps that exact timer that they've got to worry about. So things settle down, and that means TNC feel like, okay, Aegis down, maybe we can make a move out together.
Alright, Aegis down, maybe we go take the cheese now, guys, or what? It's getting smelly.
That's there for next rows, and you get the double cheese. That's the real power spike.
Hey, right.
I can't believe how many games. I feel like usually when I'm casting Dota, like you'll get one game every like couple of months with tier 5 items. I feel like we've had 2 or 3 already just in SDA TI qualifiers, and we're 42 minutes in. We shouldn't count our eggs just yet, but it does feel like we're headed there.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think TNC is gonna lose this game just yet. I think they understand how their lineup works. I think they understand what fights they need to take. They need Boom to jump into them, and they need to somehow survive and let this TB deal insane amount of damage.
Boom may just humor them. They smoke up. They're looking for that jump. They need to make sure they get that initial kill. Tims gets caught by the blink. So does the Brood! And then the 2-hero Earth Spike to follow it up. Brood in all sorts of trouble, gets fingered as well. Brood still barely alive, but will end up going down. They're going to double buy back. The Rolling Thunder coming in from FBZ. Armel, he's stuck on a cliff. Has got an Astral Step if he wants to get down to the low ground. Aeon Disc is propped, and Gabby trying to just burst down this FBZ Tango and will be successful. So the chase is on. They want more. Armel has a Yule Scepter if he can get close enough, but no Astral Steps to chase with. Ock doesn't want to chase too far because he'll end up on his own, and Gabby did not have the same mobility to chase these heroes down, so...
Yep, you're completely fine if you're Boom there.
Yeah. They had to use multiple buybacks.
And they had to use the meta, so... Yeah, after this meta is down, Boom can, again, do whatever they want on the map, but... Wow, like Dreamercell's Axe, like, he was not getting this sort of calls in the other game where he played Axe and he lost.
Pit. Tims is in the pit. He got the cheese.
Oh,
he found it.
Sniff. Oh, yuck, he says, but it's great. Tims is so serious, dude. He doesn't even make a voice line or like a chat wheel or anything. He's just like, geez, guys.
Yeah. That almost feels like, yeah, something you should let your opponents know about because it could be a bit demoralizing. Like, hey, by the way. Or maybe you're hoping to surprise them. Like, they may not expect Armel to suddenly pop a cheese in an upcoming team fight.
You know what Tim should do? He should just go to a lane and just drop the cheese and just like stand there, pick it up.
Deny the cheese.
Hilarious.
True SCA fashion, denying Aegis. That's 2014, Oh, blink call, Axe catches out Tims, and he gets blown up.
He has no buyback. Like, they have no meta. That was quite a bad death, actually. like when your meta is down, you need to understand that, boom, they do not care who you show, they're gonna jump. Because you have no meta, you have no way to turn the fight. So anyone that shows, they're gonna jump. And for it to be the hook wing that has no buyback, it's a bit of an issue. If Boom manages to touch the base, but it seems like the quick waves are just a little bit too far right now.
Yeah, they maybe not feeling like Hoodwink alone is a big enough kill to go for any crazy high ground plays. They are getting some good aggressive wards. Marana roaming through the top side of the map, gets a high ground base ward to scout out a lot of information here.
And the Gabby, Terrorblade, actually, he bought a Swiftling because he also feels that he needs the mobility to catch up in the fight. Because he has no disables in the fight.
I like this. Yeah, it does no longer have the boots, but yeah, the chase factor as well as the bonuses you get when you teleport in, gonna be nice for him.
Yep, no buyback though. DD on X as well.
And another smoke coming out from Boom. They're charging towards this dire side of the map. There is a Radiant Observer Ward, oh sorry, Sentry Ward on the high ground. Dream Missile in the front lines. Doesn't look like he's gonna catch anyone.
Jumacel even has a moonshot on his X, man, this guy.
Oh wow, yeah, he got farmed. Interesting. I mean, doesn't even want the Ag Scepter. It's like, that Ag Scepter's not any good.
I mean, it's pretty good because it gives it reduces the cooldown of the call by 3 seconds. I think that's like the most important thing for him. But yeah, he'll probably angle for it now since he's maxed out 6 slots. Yeah, he just queued up the Aga right now.
Yeah, I mean the move speed aspect of the battle hungers being applied can be really nice too. So.
Yep.
So, right now, next Roshan respawning in 40 seconds time. Where, I mean, maybe that's the Axe is like, oh, I'll get a free Axe. I mean, at this point he's so rich, even if there's an Axe drop, it's almost like you're better off giving it to like a support like a Lion or, I mean, Murata Axe not very good, but here we go, TNC. Piling over this cliff, trying to keep the vision. Gabby blinks in with the BKB Metamorphosis. He gets Makoto's Invoker with the Hex. Completely caught by surprise. The Brute Hex. And a pause. Oh. Gabby gives him the Pom PP. Looks like both teams got a lot of lag from that one. Gabby just jumping on in and the Bok. The Scythe of Vice, I mean, it doesn't, no point saving for buyback when it's on cooldown. Bit of Dota 2 lag, unfortunately, coming out, but no Invoker for now. Does have a buyback if he wants to commit it. He's going to use it. Throws out the Cataclysm. The Force He gets the egg off! Oh! But just to save his life. It's not going to actually lead to any kind of a team fight. At this point, TNC may have to disengage. The Metamorphosis still has a bit of time left on it, but...
The Roche is going to be out in 2 seconds. TNC, you have meta.
Yeah. Okay. They do see it. Is there enough time with this meta? And they don't have the Supernova. Maybe they're going to be a bit afraid. You're talking about Roche into Pangolier, Rolling Thunder. Okay, it's still on cooldown, but looks like TNC are going to play things safe and just back off for now.
Boom. They're just going to do it, I think. No meta.
Spiderlings nearby. Anybody going to go for a steal? It's Armel. You got to imagine he's maybe considering it. Spiderlings see exactly how much health is on the Roche. Bok is nearby as well. They throw out the Cataclysm, get some information. They actually take out the Phoenix. One hero down.
The Roche is low again and they leave. I've seen this story before.
We'll see how it goes for them. Blink Call catches Armel. He's got the A on this, so that's going to keep him alive. The buyback coming in from the Phoenix. Dissimulate to get out of there.
Oh, he has a refresher on
here. Blink in, refresher. TB, he's got another meta. That's going to completely catch him by surprise. But the arrow, it comes in. It catches Armel. He needs a save. He gets his defensive heals. He's still going to cheese as well to play around. And the Rolling Thunder coming to an end as Boom forced to completely disengage.
Rush.
Great refresher pickup. Gabby finding the item they needed for the perfect moment here. The arrow, it's going to hit Roshan, and they're going to secure themselves an Aegis. Armel picking that one up.
Wow.
Huge find. What else did they get? Was it?
How did Gabby manage to find the goal for the refresher? I was clicking on him and he was like 1.5k away. I think he sold something. I'm not sure what. Dragonlance maybe? Wow, that just changed the entire game. Just that one play.
Yeah.
Having that meta.
And TP got the Ag's Blessing as well. So he went all in. He's like, I don't need buyback. We need a second meta.
Boom might lose right now if they try to fight. Maybe they don't know that the TB has the small meta. Boom is playing so aggressive.
Boom, unable to connect to that initiation. 50 minutes in. I mean, it feels like we're in the super late game, but we're still 10 minutes away from those tier 5 items, so still a bit of a ways to go. The Bok Hex pickup as well, setting up that initial Invoker kill. They just timed that initiation perfectly.
Yep, they went for I think the only hero out of everyone that didn't have an Aeon Disc. Like, okay, the Aeon Disc is on Lion and Tango. The Invoker does not have an Aeon Disc.
Okay, that crazy late game territory. Support Mirana saying, I can be a core now, has an MKB queued up, so wanting even more attack speed, wanting some more damage. And still anybody's game. TNC may have got themselves the Roshan haul, but it is still Boom who have an 18k gold lead and a lot of farm cores, whereas TNC, they're all in, it feels like, on this TB. Brood has fallen off. He managed to find the perfect item to have a big impact on that last fight, but it doesn't really feel like he's a core here in the late game.
Yep, they still do need Boom to kind of misposition like they were, where the Invoker was kind of too far forward without Aeon Disc for the Hex to be very impactful. Otherwise, the Hex is not that big of a game changer. Like in the macro sense, it doesn't change the fight, but because Boom were unaware of it and Mikoto positioned too far up, that's why it became such a game-winning item.
He's got the Aeon Disc now in his backpack. At this point, surely you just sell the Midas. Maybe wants to use it once or twice more, but your Midas is already
one last
paid off. Exactly. But then he's going to use it one last time and be like, okay, what about one more? Put it in your backpack, you know. Like, yeah, it takes longer to come off cooldown, but you can still have it in your backpack if you really want.
Sometimes the greed gets the better of you, you know.
Yeah. That's money towards your buyback. I guess buyback being on cooldown means he's not really too concerned about it. Void Spirit, Armel. Trying to see what we can set up here. Gabby blinks in. Looking to catch him with the Terror Wave that off the mark, and good play from Boom just to get the hell out of there. Knowing that TP committed the Metamorphosis. Or sorry, no, just the Terror Wave. He didn't actually Metamorphosis, so he still got that Metamorphosis, so...
Yep, this TB is a huge issue right now because on Boom, right, for them to commit onto this TB, it's like they really need to have the confidence to be able to do it, but because your combo might just be messed up by something so simple as like a 4-staff, and then suddenly this TB is gonna pop BKB and Sunder, it's so hard to like tell yourself, like, for the team's communication like plan to be, guys, if we see TB, we're gonna jump. Like it's just difficult to fully commit onto the TB.
Smoke up. What can TNC find here? Headed towards the top lane. Don't imagine they're all too interested in any kind of a high ground siege into heroes like Pengo, Invoker, but they are looking to take some map control. Much like Boom, looking to keep the pressure on this bottom lane. Maybe we'll get a tier 2 tower without much of a fight. If they go for anything more, I think TNC have got to be thinking, let's just back off. Only 50 seconds left on the Aegis, and wanting to make sure they have the required buybacks for any kind of upcoming fight as well, I imagine.
Yeah, all the games today, we have seen the teams that take an Aegis posture aggressively, and the teams that don't have the Aegis posture defensively, and like nothing really big happens, you know, during the Aegis time. It always feels like
taking some out of tier 2 towers, which is, you know, not completely insignificant, but definitely not a game changer by any means. As does mean if TNC ever win a fight, they can push that a little bit faster without having to worry about those tier 2 towers.
Yep, it also stops it stops like creep cutting, because tier 2 towers are there to protect your racks, because your opponent cannot hit your racks, right? And the tier 2s not being there just means like, as long as TNC, if they win a fight, they have one lane of creeps, they can take the Mega, you know, instead of having to reset and go and clear a tier 2 tower.
The prize is mine.
When it comes to,
again.
I mean, okay, he doesn't have the bottle charge, so don't think this will be used in a team fight or anything. What are the big deciding factors for what looks to be, you know, the next big crazy team fight? What's the big things to look out for? Like, what's going to win either side a team fight?
I do think that the way they win the fight is to kill the TB for Boom. The way in which they do that, somehow, maybe this Lion needs to look for the hook wing. Because the only save on Dire is a 4-star on the hook wing. The Phoenix actually doesn't have Aga, he doesn't have Glimmer, he doesn't have 4-star. So the only thing that's stopping this TB from dying is the hook wing 4-star. Because they have a lot of damage on Boom. They have the Pango to chain stun the TB as well. They have a finger, they have double catalysm, they have a refresher orb on the Invoker. And this Axe does a lot of damage on the TB because it does pure damage. As long as they stop this hook wing from 4-stuffing this TB, Boom can kill this TB. And if he uses meta and dies, then you only have to worry about one meta left. Since he has a refresher orb.
Yep. Sitting on 10,000 gold, this Terrorblade just doesn't really have any way to... Could get the Moonshard still, actually, but other than that, there's not a whole lot. Boom. Making their move towards this mid lane, smoked up, but no targets in sight. Gabby pokes his nose forward. He's got to be careful. That mana drain, dealing with these illusions well. Lion having this Axe Shard able to become spell immune as well when he's going for it. Dream Missile, does he want to go on Gabby? Right now it looks like the answer is a definitive no. He's looking for a different target.
Yep, like I said, if they don't see this hook wing, it's super hard for them to make a team decision to go on this TB.
Takes out the top haste rune, guaranteeing the power runes. Not as important perhaps as it once was, but still something to consider a little bit. Phoenix going to snipe the outpost with the dive on through. Could just be reclaimed if we want to. And curious, any... Hold on. Yeah, no fight throwing. Any crazy level 30s that you see? Like any hero that's going to really benefit from having their double talents? I think it was very close to level 30.
I have no idea because I never ever reached level 30 as a post 5 hence, but let's have a look.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
The Mirana's 25 could be pretty nice if they always have like permanent Moonlight Shadow on the map. It'd be pretty hard for TNC to deal with.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Do they have a gem? Yeah, okay, I was about to say, it feels like one of their frontliners needs a gem, and yeah, Void Spirit Armel basically forced to carry it, it feels like.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that he's the one holding the gem and the Brute is the one holding the cheese. I thought it would be the other way around.
Ah, yeah, that's true. I guess maybe there's more worry that the Brood either dies in the fight or has to sit back a bit. I'm not sure about that, but...
maybe the Phoenix's 25 is going to be quite important if he adds the Sunray. Because he might be able to just make it such that his TB survives on a sliver of HP with that heal with a lot. That's the other thing.
Next Roche is up. Getting to that point, these late game Roches are not always going to have the item slots to pick up an Aegis. I guess someone like TB can, of course, backpack the BKB and use his first life without BKB and his second life with. Both teams playing so cautiously. This is just game one of this best of 3. As things really heat up in one of the most competitive stacked regions for these TI10 qualifiers. Unfortunately for Southeast Asia, the teams were so even during the DPC leagues. Only one team, T1, qualified directly to TI. So teams like TNC, Boom, Fnatic, SMG, Motivate Trust, all fighting over just one slot. As mid lane, FBZ gets jumped with the Hex, has the Aeon to turn this one around. Gabby gonna now look to focus on FBZ, not enough damage coming out from him as the Rolling Thunder doing a good job to lock him down with the Glipnir as well and snaring them. No kills just yet, Hyde's being chased down as well. Cataclysm coming in, doing good damage here, but it's not enough. TNC still healthy through this one. The kill is gonna be on the Pango, who does it buyback. Does he want to commit it? For now he's holding on to it, dive on forward from the Phoenix. Doesn't set anything else up, and it looks like TNC maybe going to back off. Could consider going for Roshan if they want to. They have the refresher in the TB's backpack still if they need that next Metamorph. And Pango is going to go for the buyback.
The Roche is up.
Yep. TB brings the refresher in. He's going to pop that and probably have that next Metamorphosis. Waiting for now. He's not using it right away. Teams throwing out scans, trying to get an idea of where the others are. Bok positioned aggressively. Woo! Okay, Armel goes down, instantly buys back. They're looking for more on the backlines. FBZ, he's found Tim's. Tim's in some trouble here. He tries to pull stuff away, but that's the hoodwink down. That's a lot of the save. Bok on the Brood has his Aeon Dispop. He's trying to chase down Makoto, but he doesn't really have the tools to do so. Not on his own anyways, as TNC commit multiple buybacks. Both teams disengaged for now. Ace is on. Armel coming back into the fight without buyback, without a care. He catches that hide, the blink call from the Yak. He's trying to turn this one around. He catches that Bog with it. Bog getting along the Brute, but he gets healed up the cheese. He keeps himself alive with it. Marana, who dies, buying back instantly. Gabby, he's still alive, needs a Sun to target if he maybe wants to continue fighting, but he's okay for now. Both teams
There's no kata.
with 5 alive.
I think TNC just gotta do it. There's no kata. There's no refresher up on the Invoker.
Yep.
Cooldown, like Gabby is so good.
45
He knows.
seconds. Yep. Metamorphosis is available after the refresher. Gabby gonna secure this Aegis. That's something maybe. Oh, hold on. Bog gets caught by the blink call, out of position, does a buyback, but I don't think he was expecting to get caught there. Bit of a mispositioning for him, perhaps, and TNC aren't able to get this Roche right now. They still have most of their tools.
Seen this story twice this game.
What's it gonna be? Do they try and go for this Roche? Who's even grabbing it? Who's got room for it? Booms is waiting on the high ground. Spiderling scouting them out though. Armel jumps into Kezq. Kezq's got the Aeon Disc. Can he get any of his spells up? Has a Finger of Death if he can turn to use it. The Force Sub's keeping him alive. The Rolling Thunder. Gabby, he's okay for now. He gets stunned up. There's the Cataclysm. Gabby gets low. He needs a Sun to target. Where's the target? He needs to pop his Satanic, Sunder, anything. He's still okay for now. Gets the Satanic off. He's healing back up. The Axe getting very, very low. Can Dream himself survive through this? Gets another call off. He's trying to turn and fight. He gets hexed up now and he can't sustain himself much longer. Gabby finds the Sunder on the Boomy. He keeps the... He gets actually low. He's still going to die. And with the Meteor, he goes down. TP, buyback. Dakota with the BKB in the front line, trying to right-click him down. Void Spirit does not have buyback. Cannot afford to die. The Aeon Disc is going to wear off. And now Armel, Astral Step. He gets out. Impale, only going to catch Tims. He also doesn't have buyback. If Armel can survive, that's huge. And with the Miranda dead and with all the buybacks, TNC actually have 5 alive still. TB's buyback, allowing them to turn this in Dream Cell, goes for a BKB TP out, cancels it. Sorry, BKB looking to run away. Both teams just somehow,
Holy
9
shit.
heroes still alive. I feel like we just saw 9 buybacks.
I don't even know.
8 buybacks have been used. Lion
Who's
and
gonna
Invoker
take
the
Aegis?
only heroes.
Void Spirit,
Every-
Aegis.
Every Dire hero used buyback that fight.
I'm not even the one that casted that, but I'm breathless.
Oh, by the way, tier 5 items. It's 62 minutes, and I don't think anyone actually has a tier 5 item.
Oh, the X just
Until
got the
now.
X Machina. Oh,
alright.
They got a Seer
hope-
Stone. God damn.
Hopefully we have a second to think about it. Is that good? Seer Stone, is that good or not?
I don't
Not
think it's
really, right?
ideal because you can't use it on your cores, right? Ideally, you want
Yeah.
4 items, like at least 3 good items for your cores, and then
It-
the supports can just take the nonsense, you know?
Maybe a support? Just, I mean, the vision reveal. Farseer ability. But, I'm not sure what we'll see from that one. Axe maybe trying to get some more neutral items, just farming the enemy jungle. Every time we get to 60 minutes, I'm always like, can we just pause and, like, reread what these tier 5 items do? You see them so rarely.
Yep,
Brewed with
the
a
Book
book.
of Shadows. That one is pretty
Yeah.
interesting. It's pretty. Even myself, like the first time I got it, I didn't know how to use it, but it silences, it disarms, and it mutes. So basically, you can't do anything, but you will receive AoE damage. So if he uses a Book of Shadow on like a Pango or Invoker or anything, they just like
Yeah.
they just can't do anything for 3 seconds. They're useless.
kind of like a Doom in some ways. but
A
you
Doom
can't
without damage.
target it. Yeah.
And it's only an 8-second cooldown. Like you can use it a lot of times, many times in the fight. If your main job, which is as a brute mother, you just want to cause chaos on the backline, right? This is like maybe it's like one of the best items that he could have gotten. He just runs to the back. He presses this thing on the. What if he presses this item on the Invoker while the Axe goes into call? Then there's just no kata, you know.
Giant Ring comes into play. TB. I thought he was going to go for the Mirror Shield, but he wants the Giant Ring. It gives move. He's playing without boots, so I think the movement speed aspect of this is pretty big. Plus, I mean, everything about it. The strength, the movement speed, the
Yeah,
train
you just look
pathing.
scarier, right?
Oh, jump in top. Gabby,
Oh, he's
he's
huge.
absolutely massive. This is one demon you do not want to F with.
Oh, it's huge! Oh my god, so scary.
Oh boy, a thing of nightmares. And if whoever loses this game is going to be having some nightmares about playing a 65-minute game.
He
High
looks
ground
like
we go.
the Dragon Knight version. Black Dragon.
Blink call. They're going on the TP. Is there a Cataclysm to follow this one up? They get the Sunray. They're trying to heal him. Gabby gets pulled into the egg. They need to kill this egg. Can they get it? Where's the Mirana? They get it low, and they get both. No buybacks. No! It's a disaster. TNC. They've got to find a way to cut their losses here, but they've lost 3, make it 4. They're the ones going for the high ground push, and Boomy gets tipped. He tried to pull the TP in. I think he had to.
Distracted by the huge TV.
Oh,
He just died.
even with the Mirana dead, they were able to kill the egg.
The moonshot on the axe, making all the difference there.
Oh, Axe, by the way, is that his rapier? Who bought this rapier? Where did that come from?
He just bought the rapier because he wants to end the game. He just bought it and then he
Sure.
deleted it.
Okay, makes sense. And no buybacks. It's the best way to end this game. Straight to the tier 4 towers. He hits so goddamn freaking
What
fast.
happened there? They used 2 4-stars on the TV. The Fullwing and the Phoenix both 4-starving at the same time. Oh, and the Phoenix.
over.
Phoenix has
Rapier,
Aga as well.
Rapier, Invoker, Pengar. They're just all buying rapiers. I love it. I mean, they know the game's over. Holy moly.
What a game. The egg
Absolutely
needed 13
incredible.
hits, and they still got it. He has the Aga blessing, and they still managed to kill
Oh, did he have the 25 talent as
No.
well?
it. Nah, he did not. He
Okay.
was level 24. One more level.
If he was 25, yeah.
yeah, that
that's
would have
actually
definitely
crazy.
Exploded the egg.
Well, a lot to say, but also a lot that's left us speechless. And we have at least one more game. That's just game 1. These 2 teams producing some amazing Dotas. The TI10 Qualifiers producing some amazing Dotas. So guys, don't go anywhere. Stick around. We're going to be back with game number 2 after a quick breakdown. We'll see you there.